You caught yourself doing it again. Maybe in the car, maybe in the kitchen, maybe just now, quietly, inside your own head. You were talking to yourself, and for just a second, you wondered if that was strange. It isn't. But the real reason it happens is far stranger than you think. For most of human history, talking to yourself was considered a sign of madness, something to hide, something to be ashamed of. But modern science has completely flipped that idea on its head. Talking to yourself is not a quirk. It is one of the most sophisticated things your brain knows how to do. Here is what is actually happening. Your brain is not one thing. It is a collection of systems, each running at the same time, each processing the world in a slightly different way. The part of your brain that handles language, the part that handles emotion, the part that plans, the part that remembers. These systems do not always agree, and when they don't, your brain needs a way to negotiate. Talking to yourself is that negotiation happening out loud. Psychologist Lev Vygotsky, who studied child development in the early 20th century, was one of the first to understand this. He noticed that children talk to themselves constantly while they work, not because they are confused, because the act of speaking a thought out loud forces the brain to organize it, to make it real, to test it against the world. Vygotsky called this private speech. He argued it was not a sign of immaturity. It was a sign that the brain was learning to think. And then something interesting happens as you grow up. The talking does not stop. It just goes quiet. It moves inward. What was once private speech becomes inner speech. The voice inside your head that narrates your day, argues with your choices, rehearses conversations before they happen. That voice is the same mechanism, just internalized. But here is the part that should genuinely surprise you. Research by psychologist Ethan Kross at the University of Michigan found that how you talk to yourself changes what your brain actually does. In one study, people who talk to themselves using their own name, saying, "You can do this," or referring to themselves in the third person, showed significantly lower activity in the brain's threat detection regions when facing a stressful task. They performed better. They recovered faster. Talking to yourself in the second or third person creates a tiny psychological distance between you and the problem. Your brain treats the situation like you are advising a friend instead of drowning in your own fear. This is not a trick. This is your brain using language as a tool to regulate itself. There is one more layer to this. Neuroscientist Charles Fernyhough, who has spent years studying inner speech, argues that the voice in your head is not just one voice. It carries traces of every important relationship you have ever had. The way your parents spoke to you. The way a teacher encouraged or criticized you. The way a friend once described who you are. Your inner voice is a conversation with all of them, compressed into something that sounds like you, but was shaped by everyone around you. When you talk to yourself, you are not alone. You are drawing on every voice that ever mattered to you. So the next time you catch yourself muttering in the grocery store, or arguing with yourself about a decision, or whispering your own name before something hard, stop for just 1 second. Not to judge yourself, just to notice. Your brain is not broken. It is not strange. It is doing exactly what it was built to do. Thinking out loud. Negotiating with itself. Using the most powerful tool your species ever developed to make sense of being alive. You were never just talking to yourself. You were thinking. And that is one of the most human things there is.